I would say really rather lovely. But I'm also conscious of the fact that I think they look lovely because of the small number of paintings of good quality, rather than what we have at the moment, which looks like something out of a charity shop jumble sale on occasion. And perhaps we could see a version of this as the pictures are laid out at the moment, rather than how the artist envisages them. Are they?
I think, Councillor Sample, you can do a spot the difference, but I think they are the same, yes, right now.
Yes, they are.
Perhaps we can have a conversation about rehanging them during decoration.
Okay. Oh, it is the same. Sorry, I've been informed my ears and eyes around me are telling me otherwise. Thank you.
Councillor Brown?
I just had a question on the choosing of the colours, because we've got this lovely teal, and then we've got kind of sort of Dubai gold going on. And was Historic England or anyone consulted? I mean, is this really, at the time of the 17, whatever this room was built, was Dubai gold a thing? I just wonder how the process, have we consulted some experts? Because I think we ought to be following a good heritage trail, I think.
Currently, no, the heritage hasn't been informed on this as of yet. So,
here we go. Is it on? No. Thank you, Chair. Just to say, no, we haven't spoken to National Heritage England. However, what we have done is looked back through previous iterations of this room, and it has had many, many different colour schemes over the years. And therefore, on the basis of that, and what is proving popular at the moment, particularly with high yield hires, those were the colour schemes that were then brought forward for councillors to make a design on. So it is difficult to say actually which period it is that you would like us to follow, because there have been many different colour schemes and iterations in that time period.
Councillor Hocking, I think you had your hand up, and then...
Chair, thank you. I like deep teal, but it's dark. And if you put dark all the way around the room without significant amounts of additional lighting, it's going to be dark. Mostyn, any comment on that? Or
there's no additional lighting planned, only what you see here. So yeah, it's a fair point. Yeah, it is a darker colour. It could be darker in the room. So I can go back and we can ask that question. Thank you. Maybe lighten.
And you thought this was going to be a quick and easy one. Councillor Charleston.
Thank you, Chair. I mean, there's a point in 5.1, isn't there, saying it transitions under evening chandelier lighting into a highly exclusive upscale. It seems like darkness is the point, perhaps, or at least giving it, I don't know, I'm not an interior designer. That's not really the point I was going to make. But I suppose, Asa, I was going to ask probably the question that you half answered, which is I'm not necessarily that fussed about the authenticity of the finish here, but wondering what sort of whether we've spoken to your sort of wedding planners and what evidence do we have that what consultation have we had that says you want to do a wedding in here, deep teal is the colour for you, I suppose. Otherwise, I like these options. I like deep teal. I like the dark green. I think they're different, but I like them quite a lot. But that's my question.
Thank you, Leader. The short version is we've had a number of conversations with our high-value hirers, and the options that you see today are the colours that have been most popular.
Councillor Rideout.
I am a big fan of colour. My living room is red. My kitchen has dark teal on 2 of its walls. It's a very popular colour at the moment. I think we need to be a bit aware that we might need to future-proof. And as Councillor Hocking said, it is dark, which is why we didn't go deep teal throughout the whole of our kitchen living area. It's dark. And it's not to say that we shouldn't have it dark teal. What we also need to be aware of is the gold. The gold is glorious. It looks fabulous. It can look very shiny. I think we need to be careful about the shininess of any gold that we put in here. As I say, everything we do is about future-proofing. That's why we are looking at solar panels. That's why we're looking at batteries. That's why we need to be careful with our colour scheme so that we future-proof it so that in 10 years' time, our high-value hirers don't go, ooh, that's very 2026. Thank you very much.
Can we note the shininess of the gold, please? Councillor Nettle.
Mind you, retro could be fashionable by then, so. I think if you ask councillors options on here, you're going to get 24 different views. And I agree that if we've asked our major hirers what colours they, even though it's now, I think that's an important feature. I think 2 points I'd just like to add is that when you look around this room now, you can see wires all over the place. And I think that when we're hiring and having lecterns and all of that, so working out how these rooms are going to be used and the infrastructure that needs to go in there, I think is important. And if we need to put extra PowerPoints in, this would be a good time before it's painted and decorated rather than realise that afterwards. I think the only point I would say is I don't think you can make a paint that is sound absorbing. So I just make my comment that somewhere there needs to be soft furnishings to absorb some of that sound. But otherwise, I think it's great.
Councillor Foster.
So I feel I should add in that I have gold on all my skirting boards and chandeliers at home, and I love it. Trump would be jealous. I think I just wanted to add 2 thoughts here. One, based on the information that ACE has shared with us, I hand over the expertise to our high value hirers. At this stage, I think, as was said, I'd agree we'd probably get 24 different opinions if we start to try to go further back. I would add maybe something for our commercial officer and team is that, yes, in 2036, colours, taste choices may be different. We should make sure that our pricing allows for the fact that in 10 years we have accrued the funds to redecorate again. I mean, hopefully the ceiling won't need repairing every 10 years, but theoretically, if it's that big of an issue, a business should build up the reserves to change for the times and make sure it's still competitive and of interest to people in the future. So I think if we get it right for 2026, that's good. And if it's wrong in 2036, let's bring pink in, or whatever it is then. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Last.
Just a question. Is this a once in a decade activity, or is it a longer period of time or shorter? It's just a thought. How long, if we don't like it, will we have to put up with it?
I think we just had indication from Councillor Foster as Chair of Commercial that he's looking to renew every decade or so. So if you don't like it this decade, come back.
Right.
If you don't like it this decade, come back next decade, says Councillor Foster.
If budget gives us the money in 10 years, that's not my decision.
Councillor Rogers.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I don't mind either colour. The only thing that does concern me, you look at photos of the cornice, in either colour, they just look bland in one colour. All the ceilings that have had a cornice like that, in any of the places I've worked, have had individual flowers or block picked out in a different colour, and it looks stunning. I think painting them one colour, whether it's gold or whatever, you lose the detail, and that is such a fantastic detail up there. So I would just plead that we ask Paul Stevens or whoever it is just to look at the detail on the corners. Could something be to make it go wow?
Thank you very much for that. Any
Not
other
just a broken down building,
thoughts?
magnolia and white.
Any other thoughts from anyone? You know, I was really surprised. I said when I was briefed on this the other day that we'd be asking the public to vote on this. I'm really surprised nobody suggested that. There we go. Right, so it has been suggested by officers that we paint this room in a deep teal. So we have, that's option A, deep teal, or option B is the sage green. Can I have a proposer for deep teal? Councillor Foster. Have I got a seconder for deep teal? Councillor Charleston. Can I have a vote, please, in favour of deep teal for this room going forwards in 2026 to possibly 2036? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hands up. And then those against deep teal for this room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay, getting exciting. Okay, so no to deep teal. Right. So just to confirm then, oh, did we have any abstentions from deep teal? Can you believe we're doing this? Councillor Nettle. Right, abstention for Councillor Nettle. Okay, so just to be clear then, we're going in favour of sage for this room. Do I have a proposer for sage? I just want to be absolutely clear on this. Okay, Councillor Podger to propose and Councillor Nettle to second. Okay, can I have a vote in favour of sage green for this room, 26 to possibly 36? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. That does pass, but would anybody hugely want to show their burning objections to that? No, okay, so we're going sage green in here. Right, that's one choice made. Okay, then for the Crown Court, it has been recommended that we go with dark green for that room. Do I have a proposer for dark green? Yes, Councillor Podger, and seconded by Councillor Foster. Those in favour of going dark green next door? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Enough. Any of those against going dark green? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That, however, passes. Yes. Okay. We are going dark green. So we're having a green theme basically throughout this building. Lovely. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so item 16, special delegation. Asa, passing over to you on this one, aren't I?
That's okay, no problem. Thank you. So in accordance with standing orders, urgent matters can be considered outside of committee using our special delegation procedure. So you'll see this evening we've had 3 within the last few months, 1 in February regarding staffing and 1 in April and recently in July regarding the dewatering bay. These are to note this evening. However, if you wish to ask any questions, please feel free. Thank you.
Any questions to Janine? Wonderful. Thank you very much. Can we note that then, please? Yep. Lovely. Thank you very much, Janine. Okay, item 17, the complaints policy then. Janine, you again. Lovely.
Thank you very much. So this evening's report, you will see the updated complaints policy and the revised managing unreasonable complainant behaviour policy. Both of these were considered at the Governance Policy and HR Committee in March. All the recommendations were approved. However, with our current scheme of delegation, we do need to bring this policy for approval at full council as well. So that's why it's here again to this evening. I will highlight that we have recommended 1 additional change to the policy since that governance meeting, and that's a change to the unreasonable behaviour policy. It's 5.6.3, and that's regarding repeat unreasonable behaviour within a 12-month period and how we'd manage that repeat behaviour. Do you have any questions, please? Thank you. They are both to approve this evening, and we've also attached the complaints procedure, which is just to note and just to reference this evening as well. Thank you.
Councillor Nettle.
Can I move the recommendation for approval?
Councillor Charleston to second. Any comments or questions for Janine before we go to vote? Councillor Johnson.
Yeah, just one quick comment. In section 9 of the policy, complaints policy, it talks mainly about the code of conduct for SCC councillors. There's quite a bit of text here that it duplicates what's in the actual code of conduct document, which is a separate document. Is there a particular need for defining the same things in two different places?
It's to reflect how we deal with those complaints differently to other complaints. So unless a member of the public or somebody looked at this policy, looked at the code of conduct, they wouldn't know that how we manage member complaints. So we've included it in here so the public understand that we manage those differently and we report them to which council monitoring officer, because they are dealt with in accordance with our process and policy differently to other complaints.
Okay, thank you.
That's okay.
Councillor Hocking and then Councillor Wells.
On the step 8, if the complaint is not satisfied, why do we need to go through so many people before we get to a resolution? We've got chief exec, corporate support, then senior corporate, then chief exec again, then corporate support again, then the mayor, then back to corporate support, then back to senior officer, and then the mayor. Do we really need that many?
So are you referring to the procedure document?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. So
that does seem like we're involving every member of the council.
yeah, so if somebody comes back, so this is the section regarding if the complaint wasn't happy, so they may then submit further information, so then we'd need to go through the process again as if it was a new new complaint to check there wasn't any more details included. But the next step we have to go to is then refer it to the mayor if somebody isn't satisfied with the original complaint response. Okay.
Councillor Wells.
I've changed my mind. I don't want to say anything.
Okie dokie. Okay, so we have a proposer and a seconder for this. Let's take 2.1 and 2.2 together. Are we happy to approve the updated complaints policy and approve the revised and renamed managing unreasonable complaint behaviour policy together? Can I have a show of hands in favour of that? Wonderful, thank you. And are we happy to note the complaints procedure in Appendix C? Lovely, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to the end of our public business. It's time to move into our excluded business.